this is Ackley, SamAttack4427 here with, well, pretty much another special video for all of you guys. So yeah, I guess, pretty much since, if you actually may recall, I think right around, for the past, throughout the majority of, last year, for sure, as a really nice follow-up to, when I made my videos, talking about my past, for sure, back in 2022, I've actually, done a fine job in doing all of these, rant, these are response and rant videos that I would actually plug up on certain topics that has been popping up, whether it be in the news or something that I just got announced that I got really excited for, and all that sort of stuff. Whether it be, of course, movies and TV shows or anything else in particular for sure that I definitely need to talk about for sure. So yeah, I kind of figured that, pretty much, I kind of figured maybe I would probably keep those going for sure, just to give out, of course, what I think would actually go down for sure. So I figured that would be something to, you know, help pretty much keep fueling this channel for sure. So yeah, and probably by the time this video goes live, I had just finished up filming and editing the first 4 episodes of the latest season of WTPU, aka What the Pickup. So yeah, I'm really happy with how well they've actually turned out, and I'm excited to see on how they'll actually go once they go up. So yeah, probably by the time this video goes live, the first episode to season 9 will go up tomorrow. So really stoked for that. So yeah, I do hope a lot of you guys will really enjoy that hangout for sure. But I guess in the meantime, I think we might as well go ahead and dive right into, of course, today's video for sure. And well, I guess since this is the start of the new year for sure, I'm already starting up on, of course, my movie-going experience for 2024 this year. There is, of course, another thing that's popping up very recently that we always look forward to every year when it comes to movies for sure. That's right, it looks like pretty much a brand new year, which also means the official start to award season for sure. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much that time again, since after the past year with a good batch of movies for sure, it's officially time to actually kickstart, of course, pretty much the Google batch of awards that we've actually got for sure. But I kind of figure for today's video for sure, that's officially what I want to talk about for sure. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys may be of course, when I mention award season, I think you pretty much know by pretty much some well-known award shows that we all know, like say the Emmys, for example, or even the Tonys, or let's see, the Grammys, which is actually quite nice. And oh yeah, let's not forget to mention the Annies and the Golden Globes. Yeah, those are actually great ones for sure, and trust me when I say I know they are actually a really big deal for sure. But that's not what I'm gonna be talking about in today's video for sure. No. Pretty much, there are 2 award shows revolving around movies that I do want to talk about for today's video, mainly because for the past couple of days, and I wanted to wait for the right time to get this video out for sure, is basically 2 award shows that we all know, which is, of course, the Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars, and another one being the Golden Raspberry Awards, aka the Razzies. So yeah, I think that's why I kind of figure I would talk about today for sure in today's video for sure. Now, I guess for the case of the Oscars, yeah, I guess I never even bothered to actually talk about them in its own video for sure, but I am fully aware of course, of the Oscars, and yeah, they actually are actually a really nice award show for sure. Probably, I think, the most well-known one, despite the fact that they, when they usually televise it, usually have some things that go wrong in particular for sure, and even spark up some massive controversy. But regardless on that, the Academy Awards is, of course, the one thing we all know of when it comes to movies for sure, recognizing the best of the best for sure, and yeah, I guess it's no big surprise, of course, that front, because I have seen a lot of really good movies for sure. In fact, some of which I've actually seen did land several Oscar nominations for sure, which is actually quite awesome for sure. So yeah. I guess there's no doubt in my mind that the Oscars is, of course, very well known when it comes to some really great movies for sure. Now when it comes to the Razzies, on the other hand, that too needs no introduction for sure. If you actually Google search the Golden Raspberry Awards, you would definitely know that pretty much it does have share the same theme as the Oscars, but is, of course, the exact gives out movies that are the exact opposite for sure. So yeah, pretty much the Oscars would give out movies that are considered the best of the best, while the Razzies are actually considered are giving out to movies that are considered the worst of the worst. So. And let's not forget to mention, when it comes to the latter, for sure, the Golden Raspberry Awards, yeah, I mean, no secret that I actually, if you are familiar with, of course, on my review show, Family Movie Collaboration, I actually did do an episode revolving around the Golden Raspberry Awards, mainly talking about the nominations from, of course, pretty much from 2014 for sure, to which yeah, I guess it's no big surprise on that one. That is probably not one of my all-time favorites for sure, and I guess it's I guess I can make the argument is, of course, one family movie collaboration review that I did that I absolutely regretted hands down, mainly because I got the video out way too late, as the Golden Raspberry Awards of that year has already gone by, and for while I do admire a few of my friends to collaborate with me on it, like, of course, Trainboy54, Sam the Thomas Fan 1, and TV Nicholas Cross, actually joining in to help me out, of course, on that one. I do kind of felt I was trying way too hard to pretty much give them some creative freedom and give out their own general thoughts for sure. So yeah, it was probably one of the dark ages for sure, and it was a really old video that I made just about 10 years ago for sure, but I've actually grown over time and seek past it for sure. And for those who are wondering, don't worry, I am still planning on bringing back Family Movie Collaboration as we speak. See if how I did manage to get the majority of filming done for Transformers Month. I am definitely gonna do everything I can to pretty much work out on the rest to get it all out for you guys for sure. So yeah, it is going to be a work in progress, yes, but trust me, I will get to it eventually, so. But yeah, I think it's what I can say for, of course, pretty much the Oscars and the Razzies for sure. Now, I actually bring those up in particular, mainly because currently, as of recently, for the past couple of days, the nominations for pretty much both of these award shows have officially dropped as we speak, and well, it looks like, all thanks to, of course, my phone in my hand, I'm actually going to be talking about them here today for sure. But first, I definitely need a drink on this, so. Alright, much better. Okay, so yeah, I think I might as well, yeah, like I said, the nominations for this year's Oscars and this year's Razzies has officially dropped for sure, and I'm definitely gonna talk about them for sure, but mainly the best of the best, and probably, yeah, probably the best that I can for sure, just to give out, of course, what I've actually thought for sure. So with that being said, let's start with, of course, the Oscars for sure. Currently, as of now, I think probably by the time this video goes live, yeah, probably or should I say by the time I'm recording this video, yeah, the nominations for this year has officially dropped right around this morning for sure, and yeah, I guess from the looks of it, they actually did get a really good lineup of movies they've actually nominated this year. So I guess if anything, we might as well start with, of course, we might as well go right ahead and get on to the Best Picture nominees for this year for sure, which is probably the main contender when it comes to the Oscars for sure. So yeah, I guess currently, as of now, the current nominations for this year's Oscar for Best Picture are American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, I don't know how to pronounce it for sure. Hopefully, I think someone will help me out on that. But anyways, moving on. Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. So yeah, not that bad of course, the lineup for this year's nominees for Best Picture for sure. And yeah, I guess it's no big surprise, of course, on that front, because, yeah, given to the nominees they've actually dropped for sure, it's honestly different from what I expected for sure, but it is actually a really good lineup for sure. And one other thing I should note is that pretty much, if anything, out of all 10 of the nominees they've officially announced for sure, I did see 2 of them around the time they came out for sure, those being Barbie and Oppenheimer, which, if you have seen my thoughts videos on both of them, you would definitely know that I really do like them for sure. And yeah, I guess it's no big surprise on, of course, that front. Barbie, I definitely thought was a really good movie for sure, and yeah, I guess if anything, it really did serve justice on, of course, pretty much giving the ever-popular toy line from Mattel the much-needed cinematic treatment it deserves, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's actually the greatest thing I've actually seen for sure, but it's still actually a really good movie regardless. While in the case of Oppenheimer, I say that definitely beats out Barbie on a much more cinematic level for sure. I still think it is actually really well done in my opinion, and I think, yeah, I think everything from the great story, the incredible casting, and the way they actually represented J. Robert Oppenheimer for sure really actually makes it all the more incredible for sure. But yeah, either way, I guess, if anything, this year's Oscars definitely made the right call in bringing Barbie and Oppenheimer as 2 of the Best Picture nominees for sure. And I'm actually impressed with, of course, pretty much both of these movies. So, of course, they deserve the Best Picture nominations for sure. And yeah, I guess looking over, of course, the rest of the nominees for sure, yeah, I won't go into too much detail on them, so I'm pretty sure once you look up this year's Oscars for yourself, you'll definitely see on what I mean by that, but either way, I guess, again, it is a little bit different than what we expected, but again, pretty much an interesting lineup for sure, And again, I guess in regards to the 2 Best Picture nominees, Barbie and Oppenheimer, yeah, again, I still actually had a good time seeing them for sure, and they're both really good movies for sure, and of course, I almost had the similar outcome for sure with, of course, last year's Oscars for sure, with 2 other films that I did see for sure that are also nominated for Best Picture around that time, those being Top Gun Maverick and Avatar: The Way of Water for sure. So yeah. Honestly, I do think it's actually a great thing that a movie that you love so much will actually make it into the Best Picture nominees list for sure, which kind of makes sense, of course, that front for sure. Now, as for, of course, the rest of the nominees for sure, yeah, I guess to make it short, sweet, and to the point, some of them I actually was actually quite surprised by for sure, but I think pretty much a good number from what I can gather for sure. yeah, really got me excited for sure. Like, of course, one good example being for the best visual effects for sure. Godzilla -1 actually made as one of the nominees for sure, which. Yeah, I guess it actually makes sense on that front because looking back on Godzilla -1, I still praise the hell out of course, that said movie, and yeah, I definitely did place it as my #1 favorite movie for 2023, and for a good reason for sure. So either way, I think given to how great the visual effects actually turned out, I say that is actually a really great thing that they actually decided to give that recognition to that SIG movie for sure. It is actually that great in my opinion, so yeah. I guess it's what I can't say of course that front, and I guess for another category that I should mention for sure, and yes, another category from the Oscars that I really do love for sure is, of course, Best Animated Feature for sure. So, and luckily enough, out of the 5 nominees they've actually got for sure, again, I've seen 4 of them out of the 5 that are currently nominated for sure, those being The Boy and the Heron, which I absolutely love, Elemental, which was actually really good, Nimona, absolutely brilliant, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Oh, fantastic. So yeah, I guess I'd give it for the fact that I did actually see those 4 animated feature films out of the 5 that are currently nominated, with the 5th one being Robot Dreams, which I didn't necessarily see, so good for that said movie for making it onto that list. That's actually really quite impressive for sure, because yeah, again, if you have seen my thoughts videos, I really did enjoy of course pretty much those 4 animated films alone for sure, and yeah, I think pretty much the amount of hardworking effort the people making those to actually make it all the more impressive really does stun me in a way to really make them all the more incredible for sure. So yeah, I think it'll be hard to say on which ones I think could be up for winning the big award for sure. In fact, sometimes I actually guess right, while other times not so much for sure. But whatever the case may be, I definitely think pretty much with what I've actually seen, looking back on, of course, the nominees for sure, yeah, pretty much some really good candidates for each category, for each award for sure. So, but yeah, and I know when it comes to the Best Picture nominees for sure, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Best Picture is always the main contender for any movie that is currently nominated in that category for sure. So, but yeah, I guess if anything, for me personally, I definitely think it's kind of hard to say on which one I think is going to win for sure. In fact, if anything, I honestly don't know on which ones are going to be are actually going to win the major award for sure. But what I do care is that pretty much when it comes to the Academy Awards, they're always there to actually give off a really good show for sure. Even if that guy actually does get criticized for sure. So. But hey, I definitely know with last year, they're actually doing some things to improve on, of course, the mistakes they've actually made for sure. So I do hope they'll actually make their way back on top for sure, especially seeing of how within a few years' time for sure, the Academy Awards will soon be reaching 100 years old. And yeah, even if pretty much, if it would still last that long, I still know hands down it will still remain as, of course, one of the main examples that movies are still around even to this day for sure. And yeah, I think if anything, in fact, if you actually seen an old movie from the past, yeah, many of which are considered the best films of all time for sure, they're always guaranteed to give off a really, really nice bit of a history when it comes to film for sure. So So yeah, I guess it is all the more reason on why the Oscars actually do matter for sure. Even for some of the movies that we absolutely loved and enjoy for sure. So yeah, I guess from what I can gather, I think it'll be interesting to see on how this year's Academy Awards will actually follow through for sure. But hey, as long as they're guaranteed to actually give off a really good show, I'm actually all for sure. But yeah, I think that's what I can say on, of course, that front. So I'll go ahead and have my drink. There we go. Alright, now that we got the Oscars out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the Razzies for sure. And I guess to help me out, of course, that front, I did manage to pull up an article, of course, Variety, which actually does contain the nominees for this year's Razzies for sure. And yeah, I guess, if anything, like I said, in regards to the Razzies for sure, we still know hands down that the Oscars are honoring movies that are the best, so kind of makes sense for the Razzies to pretty much honor movies that are the absolute worst for sure. And how else will they still be going on for well over 4 decades now and still going strong for sure. And yeah, sometimes they actually, again, much like the Oscars, they did have some mistakes here and there, as well as, of course, some massive controversy and criticisms for sure, especially with, of course, pretty much the hot water they landed in recent years for sure. But of course, I guess it's no excuse for the fact that with the amount of great and some really fantastic movies that we got for the past several years, we still have to acknowledge for the fact that we still got movies that are just absolute crap for sure. So yeah, there's no denying, of course, that front, and I guess for the Razzies is, of course, exactly that for sure. And I think I might as well go over the nominees that are currently up for Worst Picture this year for sure. So yeah, currently as of now, amongst plenty of the other nominees they got in different categories for sure, the current nominees for this year's Razzie for Worst Picture are The Exorcist Believer, Expendables 4, Meg 2, The Trench, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and probably the one that I was quite thrilled to see make it on there, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So yeah, I guess in regards to this year's nominees for the Razzie for Worst Picture, I guess it's no big surprise that much like with what I had to endure with Barbie and Oppenheimer currently up for Best Picture at the Oscars, I did see 2 of the movies that I did manage to see and reviewed in my thoughts videos that are currently up for nominations for Worst Picture at this year's Razzies, those being Shazam! Fury of the Gods and The Exorcist Believer. And yeah, I guess looking back, of course, those 2, I stand by what I said about those 2 movies. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I actually thought was okay for sure. Nothing really anything that major for sure, but I guess in comparison to pretty much the first Shazam movie, it is a massive downgrade in my opinion, and really is nothing anything that special for sure, but it's still an okay flick regardless, so I can't necessarily say it's probably the worst thing I've actually seen. While for Exorcist Believer, yeah, there's no contest on that. That film was just absolute crap for sure. And again, if you have seen my thoughts video on The Exorcist Believer, you'll definitely see what I mean for sure. So yeah, I actually didn't see the other 2 from what I can gather, Meg 2 and Expendables 4, to which I guess in the case of Meg 2, I had no interest in seeing it for sure, and thank God it actually didn't do so well when it came out, while for Expendables 4, Well, truth be told, I actually was planning on seeing it for sure, but after hearing on how terrible it did, yeah, I made the right calling actually skipping that in particular, and just went on into Saw X for sure. So yeah, that's probably a good call for me on that front. But out of all the nominees for sure, I was quite shocked and amazed that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey actually made the cut as one of the worst picture nominees for sure. So yeah, probably to best describe it for sure is that pretty much of anything, all it is of course a slasher horror flick on, of course, Winnie the Pooh and his friends. And I don't mean the ones from the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. I mean more on the Winnie the Pooh from the original A.A. Milne books that not too long ago has made it into the public domain for sure. And yeah, luckily enough, I didn't see it around the time it came out, but based on, of course, what I'm actually seeing, and especially from seeing the trailer itself, yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, I was in shocked and all, and I even cringe upon seeing it. I was like, really? Really, guys? You're really gonna do this? That's the best that you could come up with? You want to make Winnie the Pooh into a horror movie? Are you fucking drunk? But yeah, thank God I didn't see it around the time it came out, because even if I did, I guess I would not only do a thoughts video on that for sure and telling you guys on how terrible that is, but I would have done that in so much rage, so much anger, that it would be pretty much be on the same level as Steven from all of the greatest freak out ever videos by YouTuber Waffle Pond. So yeah, that's something I would have actually done for sure. If I would have ended up seeing that film and giving out my thoughts on that, I think the majority of my thoughts video would just be being absolutely angry, going on like, God, this movie fucking sucks! But thank God that didn't happen, because if anything, that amount of rage I would have actually been in for sure, I'm pretty sure my parents would have actually looked at my thoughts video on that said movie that I did talk about, and they would have said to me, we gotta get you back into therapy because of how much you hate this movie. So, to which, yeah, maybe I guess that would have been a good thing. I would have gotten into so much rage on how terrible Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is, I would have gone back into therapy. But yeah, I guess you can see where I'm getting at for sure. But yeah, like I said, I didn't see the film it came out, and I am glad it definitely got panned by critics real bad for sure. So yeah, I guess part of me is actually really happy that the film pretty much got nominated for this year's Razzies for sure. So now I guess for the other nominees in all those different categories, I guess from what I've actually seen, some of them yeah, pretty much many of them I've actually seen coming, but I was actually left in shock and confusion for sure. But of course, if anything, pretty much the one thing that did kind of crack me up is, of course, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny actually making it into 2 categories for sure, to which I guess looking over the article on Variety for sure, they did have it on there for the first category being Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel, where they entitled it as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Still Being a Dead Horse. So yeah, and I guess for the second one, Worst Screenplay, it is on there, but they actually put it as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Can I Go Home Now? that alone really did crack me up for sure, to which, yeah, I guess for the case of, pretty much, for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I mean, it's, I mean, to be fair, it's not that bad for sure, and I definitely thought it was okay for sure. But hey, it is what it is for sure, so, but yeah, I guess if anything, yeah, but of course the one thing that really did shock me for sure is that I guess for a worst supporting actress for sure, they did have 5 nominees for sure, but one of them is of course being Mary Stuart Masterson for Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, 2 things I need to get out real quick. One, if you have seen my thoughts video on Five Nights at Freddy's, I mean, yeah, I guess if anything, yeah, I guess if anything, I still thought the film was okay for sure. Yeah, nothing really that had harmless. Yeah, it's completely harmless for sure. But yeah, I guess I do agree for one part of he say that as an adaptation of the video games, it did the job fine. But another part of me still thinks that as a movie on its own, yeah, I guess it is quite fair on, of course, that front. It doesn't work as a movie on its own for sure. But I guess for a reason number 2, for those that are actually upset that Mary Stuart Masterson actually made it to a worst supporting actress just for Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, I guess for one thing, yeah, I guess looking back on her past work, she is actually a really good actress for sure. But I guess for a reason number 2, in regards to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, name one instance where we actually care for, of course, her character in that said movie. Kind of my point, if you know what I mean, for sure, so. But yeah, really quite shocked to see you make it on there, but again, it is what it is for sure, and, well, maybe I guess Mary Stuart Masterson's character in Five Nights at Freddy's might have actually saw it coming for sure. And if you have seen the movie, you'll see what I mean for sure, so. But yeah, I guess either way, with what I'm actually seeing, I can't necessarily say the nominations for this year's Razzies are that terrible for sure, but hey, I guess give it to, of course, what I've actually seen. It is what it is for sure, but yeah, I guess pretty much of anything for the worst picture nominees. Yeah, I guess there might be one or 2 that I may disagree on, but the rest I definitely do agree on, of course, on that front for sure. So, but although yeah, maybe I think maybe I guess a few other movies that are considered worse than a couple that are currently nominated for the pretty much worst picture this year. They could have actually had the upper hand for sure, but yeah, I guess if anything, I guess it is what it is for sure, and for those who are thinking that maybe Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania for sure would have actually made it to a worst picture instead of Shazam! Fury of the Gods, well, let me bear this thing in mind to you. I guess pretty much of anything for those who actually say that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is the absolute worst, well, I hate to break it to you guys, but that honor actually goes to Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let that sink into your mind a bit for sure, so yeah, you definitely heard right there. I actually thought Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is way worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Let that sink in for sure, and for those who actually disagreed, especially with, of course, the ghosts of Miss Anthroponi and Zay Magenta. Yeah, Miss Anthroponi, Zay Magenta. If anything, if you're watching this, or at least your ghost is watching this, let me come up to your face just so that I can punch you with it for sure, because yeah, you can try to take down as many YouTube channels as all you want, but in the end, SamAttack, you're about to get Ackley'd. Yeah, that's right. SamAttack will soon get Ackley'd. And yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much for those who actually complained, that Mary Stuart Masterson is of course is up there for Worst Supporting Actress for Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, I don't blame you for sure. I mean, give it to why you actually thought about Five Nights at Freddy's, and I actually thought it was a decent flick. I guess if anything, maybe instead of Mary Stuart Masterson, maybe we could have given that recognition to Rachel Zegler for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So yeah, I guess if anything, I can't necessarily say that pretty much this year's nominees for this year's Razzies is, of course, anything that special for sure. In fact, the good chunk they've actually nominated for this year are actually good choices for sure, especially on how terrible those films actually turned out for sure. But it'll be hard to say on which ones are actually going to be winning for sure, because much like the Oscars, we're going to have to wait until the actual ceremony comes around just to see on which ones are going to win for sure. But given to so much joy I'm actually feeling, maybe I think that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey might be up for winning Worst Picture at the Razzies for sure, but we'll have to wait and see, so... But yeah, I guess in the end, I guess from what I can gather, yeah, where would we be without all the major awards, especially both the Oscars and the Razzies for sure? Well, I guess the only thing we can acknowledge is that whether they be good or bad or somewhere in between, all these films altogether still deserve some massive recognition for sure, and it's all the more reason why pretty much they're still around even to this day for sure. So whether we praise them for being absolute masterpieces or slam them as just absolute pieces of garbage, I guess if anything, pretty much they're still gonna keep on going anytime soon, and as long as, of course, we'll still be there to go over to the movie theater to buy a ticket to see them, I guess we're guaranteed to actually get something that'll really entertain us, to be honest, But yeah, I guess if anything, we'll definitely have to wait and see on what will go down for the Oscars and the Razzies for this year for sure, but as long as, of course, they'll give us something that'll really entertain us, whether it be in a good way or a bad way, I know hands down that we still gave a massive amount of support to the people making these films, so let's keep on going with that and still give them plenty of recognition that they deserve for sure. So yeah, and I guess on that thought, that'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and let me know in the comment section below on what you thought about the nominations for both the Oscars and the Razzies for this year. I would definitely love to know, and well, if you want some full-on detail, of course, all of them for sure, just definitely go Google search them for yourself, just to see for yourself for sure, So yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and yeah, don't worry, I still got plenty more coming up very, very soon, because yeah, I think it's a good way to really fill in my schedule for sure, especially with what I got personally hands down, but I'll definitely let you guys know on when I'll get on my next video for sure, so yeah. But I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Big special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible. So if you want to be like these people and show your support to us and get some awesome rewards such as getting a special shoutout, credit at the end of the videos, as well as some other awesome rewards within your budget, then go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack TV to do exactly that. Hey guys, this is SamAttack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, Ackley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.